everyone. Welcome to the Wedding Honey Podcast, the podcast where we chat about weddings with a little bit of sweetness, because we all know weddings can be stressful. We're here to lighten that up. Follow along if you'd like to hear journeys about wedding photography, wedding photographers, and of course, the wedding day. We're also going to be interviewing wedding specialists, and we can't wait for you to follow along. The Wedding Honey Podcast is brought to you by Wedding Biz Kit, a photography business course created by Sounds Like Yellow Photography. After 4 years in university, knowing I wanted to start my own wedding photography business, I had no clue how to write a proper invoice or even professionally run my business. I dug deep and curated a brand that is creative just as much as it is professional. Now, 8 years in of running my own successful business, I am proud to say I have the course for you. Are you nervous about being a creative while dealing with high-end professional clients? Look no further. Wedding Biz Kit has 10 kits to prepare you for anything that may come your way, like emailing, getting repeat business, and even what to bring to a client meeting. Check out soundslikeyellowphotography.com and find the course that will change your professional outlook. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our 4th episode of the Wedding Honey Podcast. I'm so happy you're all here, and I'm even more thrilled because we have an incredible guest today who is incredible and she's incredibly talented. Her name is Marcia Fatou, and she owns the Dessert Shop in Hamilton, Ontario. It's located in Westdale, which is the cutest area. I'm obsessed with this whole entire area. And she's probably the most talented cake decorator that I've ever met. Aww. Welcome, Marcia.
Thanks for having me,
Of
Jill.
course. I knew that I wanted to have someone crazy talented as you are. And I think one day you guys posted something on Instagram and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to email Marcia. Oh. This is the person. I just love everything you create, and watching you grow with this shop in Westdale, like I said, is beautiful. It's just been really cool to watch you grow and kind of be here and really just be huge. You've literally exploded.
Aw, thank you.
Yeah.
And thanks for your support.
Of course, of course. So how long have you owned this location?
This April will be 3 years.
Okay. Wow. Does it feel like it
flew
overnight?
by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, definitely.
And you consider yourself, so here in the shop, you are the owner, the cake decorator, and the pastry chef.
Yeah.
Plus, we were just joking before, 800 other things.
Yes.
So Marcia is just a girl of all trades. She's incredible. She is here at all times, but that doesn't mean to come and visit her at all times. But she is here just working so hard, and it's paying off in dividends. So
thank you.
It's really cool to see. Yeah. I love it whenever we give someone this compliment, it's just I'm trying, and it's no, girl, you're doing.
No.
And it's really cool.
Thank you.
To see. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So you said it's been about 3 years.
Yeah.
And how did you actually start when you were just baking, right?
Yeah.
When you first started?
So to start, what I did was I went to school and everything. When I always had a passion for cake decorating, so I was just doing stuff for friends and family, and it kind of got I got more interest from people outside of that, word of mouth. So I started renting a commercial kitchen space in Mississauga called the Cake Collective, where it allowed me to start off pretty small with not a lot of money in my pocket. Yeah. And I could do stuff that was licensed and health inspector approved, so that it wasn't out of home. And then that kind of got more and more interest, and I started getting wedding cake requests, and so I started doing that. And when those got even a little bit bigger, then I decided it was time to just invest in my cute little spot in Westdale.
Amazing. Yeah. And how long was that? How long had you been running out of the Cake Collective?
Since oh God, maybe a year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it was quick.
Yeah.
So you were doing things for friends and it was just all word of mouth.
It was
You
just
didn't
word
really
of mouth.
post much.
No, like I posted, but now looking back, they were super lame. And
Would this be like 4 or 5 years ago then?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, about 4 or 5 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so the year that you were kind of just starting out, how did it feel to kind of like grow quickly like you did and do those like word of mouth kind of?
It was exciting. It went from making my sister and my best friend's birthday cake to people who were eating those cakes be like, can you ask your sister or friend to make my cake? And then eventually I was like, oh my God, people actually want to pay for my stuff. And so I was like, okay. And even just booking my first wedding, I was like, oh my God, I'm making a wedding cake.
That's
So,
amazing.
Yeah.
It's so interesting to to think and go back to those times. Like we all have, as entrepreneurs, have those days where we're like, okay, it's like maybe a tough day or a stressful day, but to think back to like that first email that you got to book a wedding cake, to book your services to make that wedding cake.
Yeah.
It's to go back to that and like think of that moment and like hold it on.
That's
hold
so
on to
true.
it. Yeah.
You don't think about that stuff
No.
enough. You get caught up in every day, but it's
Totally.
so true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder too if there's like, that'd be a really cool app if it was like you put something in there and it just sends you a reminder like, remember this?
Yeah.
Remember this like really amazing compliment? Because I'm sure you receive thousands of reviews, I'll call them, but compliments on everything you make. So to get those in like your mail every once in a while would be pretty nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's really awesome. So that feeling of, wow, people actually enjoy what I'm doing and actually, like you said, want to pay me for this.
Yeah.
That's kind of what's made in your head say, okay, time to grow.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it was kind of where it got to a point where I was like, okay, so I'm booking weddings, and I did my first wedding show, still from the Cake Collective, and I booked a few from there, but then I kept getting emails because I launched my website, my new brand and everything, and then I got emails from just, regular people going, can I get a birthday cake? Do you
Wow.
make macarons? Can I come to your store? And they didn't really get that I was just by appointment doing this small. And I was like, oh my God, people actually want my stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe I should think about making it more available so it's not just by appointment anymore, and you don't just have to be getting married. It can be big, small, in between.
Smart.
And so I was like, hey, if I'm going to be here all day making a cake anyway, I might as well open my door and allow more people to enjoy even the smaller things. Yeah.
That's incredible because you do a lot.
Yeah.
Like now, I mean, we'll talk about like where you are now, but you do so much. It's really, really inspiring to see you kind of go from the cakes to literally, like, there's nothing that I see like that other people are doing that you're not doing.
Oh,
and
thanks.
even more, which is really cool. And there's always something new, which is really exciting too.
Thanks.
Which is really cool. So can you explain kind of what your day-to-day now kind of looks like or what life looks like now?
Yeah, so to me, it kind of just feels like it always has. I'm still involved in every aspect of the business. So, I come in the morning with my great team and we start off our production. We fill up our display unit so that we can open up the store for retail. And then we just, chug away at all the cake orders that we have going out that day and the next day. And now I have a lot more office work and administrative stuff to kind of deal with. We get a lot of inquiries through emails. So I try and have a little bit of office time at the end of every day so that I can get back to people as quickly as possible. Yep. I even help out on the cash and deal with our customers. It's great because now we've got a really good group of regulars that come in and we're just like, hey, are you here for this today? And they're like, yep. And we've just kind of got it ready for them. Yeah.
Wow.
It's nice. I never thought that we would have that. So it's really special to feel like people in this community think of us as a staple on their way home from work.
That's so great. And that's because you've built that. So as great as your community is, I think something that I even have noticed just over the years of following you is you are very you are very involved in the community, in your community, and I love that.
Thank you.
Really awesome to see, because it's so easy. I mean, I'm at fault for it too, where you just kind of get sucked into like, okay, I'm working, I'm hustling, I'm doing tick, 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 like the same things over and over. But I love that you're always working with other people and working within your community. So well done on that front.
Thanks. We try. We could kick it up a notch. So
always. There's always something else.
Exactly.
And you being in the Westdale community, do you feel like you've kind of, like you said, you've become this like staple for some people in the area, but even outside of this community, people I'm sure are coming from maybe up on the mountain in Hamilton or even like downtown Toronto.
Yeah.
You get people from everywhere.
Yeah, it's great. We get people from everywhere. I think there's a few things that really stuck in my mind, and it was kind of an oh wow moment where I had people come in and they were like, we drove all the way from Mississauga for your macarons, or we're getting married but we're from Barrie and we still want you to deliver our wedding cake all the way back there, you know? And it's like they're investing their time because they actually care about your thing. They could find the exact same product or, you know, a similar product somewhere else in a more convenient location. They actually cared enough to come and support us. So those are the moments that I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. Like hold on to that for as long as you can. Mm-hmm. And in those stressful days, think about that person. Yeah. Which I mean, sometimes we do, but it's hard to remember sometimes. Yeah. But that's awesome.
Thank you.
Even just to like to have that conversation and think, okay, I had first someone booking and now you have people booking from everywhere. Yeah. It's like you're just climbing this little ladder, which is really good. Yeah. So in terms of, so you do everything, which is amazing. So tell us like what you do. So you do cakes, wedding cakes.
Yeah, so we do everyday cakes.
Everyday cakes,
They're called our bake shop cakes, and they're just, you know, an easy way for our clients to just choose a cake without thinking, oh man, I have to customize it.
Right.
We have our menu of 12 flavors. They look 12 different ways, and then we provide suggested enhancements. So that's kind of our bake shop style cake. Then we do custom cakes for people who are looking for that. Then we do special events, so wedding and bridal shower, anniversaries, like it doesn't matter what it's for. Amazing. We do it. But then we have our whole bake shop stuff. So that's like just the yummy stuff that, you know,
you can't live without.
You can't live without, yeah. So macarons and cheesecake and cookies and homemade marshmallows and chocolate bars and just a whole whack of stuff. So it's like
gosh, I have to tell you all too. Yeah, like being in the shop right now is like I have like a little bit of like moment in my mouth, like oh my gosh, it just smells so good in here and everything looks so good. It's awesome to actually be doing a podcast from here. So a little treat is just like to come in and like smell.
We'll just bottle it up and take it home with you.
That would be amazing. Spray it in my kitchen, being like, what? I made all of this.
I just finished baking it.
Yeah. That's awesome. So you do, so the special occasion cakes, the cookie cakes, those are incredible.
Yeah. So those are really popular.
When did you start doing those? A year ago?
Yeah, it was about this time last year. And I mean, it was through inspiration from an amazing pastry chef that is way across the world.
Oh, cool.
And I saw that she posted something and it was inspiring, and so we created our little dessert room version of our own. I
love that.
Yeah, and then it just got super, super popular, and now it's one of our biggest items every week. Yeah.
That's incredible. Yeah. So for those who don't know what we're talking about and like living under a rock, what is a cookie cake?
So a cookie cake is 2 layers of sugar cookie that is filled with buttercream and topped with it, and then it's topped with flowers and meringues and macarons and fresh fruit, and we cut it into whatever numbers or letters that you want. We also have some specialty shapes, so like an engagement ring or a heart or a cross for a baptism. Cute. Yeah, so like when you're turning 21, you can make it 21, and when you're turning 50, it's just fun for your special moments.
And something different.
Yeah.
They definitely are beautiful. You guys have like, I love the way you guys are doing them.
Thank you.
Wherever you got your inspiration, it's amazing that there can be inspiration like that and we can kind of like tweak it and make it our own.
Yeah.
And you're doing
definitely.
a great job of that too.
Thanks. Those ones are really fun
Really
to
pretty.
make because
Yeah.
every single one turns out different.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So cool. And yeah, I guess that's so true because with cakes too though, when you're decorating, you can, no cake's the same.
Yeah.
But the cookie cakes
the
are
cookie
just
cake is
even more
special.
so. Yeah, really cool. If you're listening via YouTube, I'll have pictures up of some of them that you've done because they're like so drool worthy. People are just gonna be drooling while they're watching this for sure. So the other thing that I definitely have like followed you with for a long time is your incredibly gorgeous wedding cakes. So did you have like a transition? Did you always kind of want to do wedding cakes, or has it just kind of happened?
I think there's always been a pretty big part of me that wanted to do wedding cakes from the beginning.
Okay.
I love weddings for whatever reason since I was a little girl. Everything, like when I was little, I used to draw pictures of wedding dresses and like, well, little girls just like sketching a wedding dress. I wanted to design dresses, like for whatever reason. Cool. I just was always drawn to this industry. I love love. I love people in love and the happiness that is surrounded, and to be able to contribute to one of the biggest days in their life. I just love it.
That's so special.
Yeah.
And Marcia herself is actually engaged and getting married in September. So in like a few months, guys. It's crazy.
God, don't freak me out. I know. So much to do.
I just mean like few months. Oh, yay, exciting.
Yeah.
You're like, that's surface. Deep down, it's like, oh gosh.
Oh gosh. Just a few months.
So in terms of being in the wedding industry then, what is some of your favorite parts of creating these beautiful works of art that couples get to have on their wedding day?
I really love getting to know the couple.
Awesome.
That is one of the best parts. You get to understand what's driving them, what's influencing the entire vision for the day.
Awesome.
And I love it when my clients are open to just being creative and having an opportunity to be creative, so that I can kind of put their personalities into their cake. So
amazing.
So that's really special. That's probably my favorite part, is just like getting to know them, because then you just get this gut feeling about what you think that is gonna fit in their head the best. Yeah.
And hearing their whole idea for like the look of their day, all of that. So you do a consult with all of your wedding clients.
Yes.
And what happens? Like, what's that process like?
We kind of just sit down and have some good chats. I try and make it a little less formal. I mean, we obviously need to ask the big ticket questions like when, where, how many people, and all of that stuff. But then the rest of it is just kind of like, tell me about your day. Tell me everything. And it's actually the best when they come in and they're like, here are my flowers, here are my invites, and then they don't show us any cake inspo. Because then we just get to take what feels right and make it happen.
That's so cool. And that's where I feel like not only are you all of these things, the baker, the cake decorator, but you're also so creative. Like, to have someone bring you really kind of like a blank canvas with like some inspiration, but to just kind of go wild, that's just so incredible. And I'm sure those ones that when they don't bring you those like Pinterest boards always turn out just so
those
magical.
Are always my favorite.
I bet. I bet. That's so cool. And I'm sure you're pretty instrumental still in all of the cake, the wedding decorating for the wedding cake decorating.
Yeah. Yes. So I still handle all of the bigger wedding cakes.
Awesome.
Personally, I feel like at this point I'm also still the one hosting all the consultations, so I really just have it in me what they're looking for, and if anything needs to change during the decorating process for the better, I'm the one that's been through the whole process with them, so I still have a huge role in all of the wedding cake decorating that happens.
That's amazing. And I'm sure, people come to you for that reason, not only because they're beautiful, but it's nice to have that one-on-one feel with your clients. Like I know with my own business, that's huge for me. Like so many people ask like, why don't you just like get other people to do this? And it's hard to let that go because you want to have that connection, and you've built such a connection with that couple, so you want to keep that going, of course.
Yeah, make a lot of friends here.
Yeah, I bet. Oh my goodness. With it being like you being so nice and everything being so delicious and beautiful.
We just bribe them with treats.
I would never leave. I'd be like, I'm back again. I have an event. It's a Tuesday. I need something. So whereabouts in the wedding planning process would you say couples come to you?
So right now our clients all come at different times in their process, but I think that the best time for them to come to us is, I think after their vision has started to come together. So your big players are like your florist and your venue and your decor. And because we draw from your vision to create something that fits within it, it's really great when, you know, you've got an idea of what the day is going to feel like, so we can make something cohesive for you. So that's probably the most ideal time to get it started with us.
Smart.
But with that being said, people come a lot earlier in the stage, and then we usually just say that, you know what, let's just kind of work out the details after other things are sorted. But at least then they know that, you know, we're on their day.
Yeah, and you're like committed to them. Yeah, I can see, I mean, people are booking, I don't know if you find this, that people are booking a lot of wedding stuff super early now. So I'm sure people are coming to you a year, even 2 years out maybe.
Yeah.
Which is really sweet and so special, but you're like, oh, there's so many other things you can do right now.
Yeah. It's like, you know, we started booking summer of 2020, and I was like, oh my God, I just saw 2019 flash before my eyes. and that's scary, but at the same time, I get it. Like, as being a bride myself, I was like, I just want to cross these things off my list. And so I get that. And that's usually when I'm just like, okay, let's totally lock this in. You don't have to worry. But I think it would be best if we sort out the design details a little bit later, because, you know, you change your mind as the thing goes on, and you're like, I thought I wanted all white flowers, and now they're all pink.
And it's, you know what, that's really great that you can be honest with them as well, because you don't want to say, I'll take this, I'm going to create it this and this, and now they're stuck with this vision. It's so great. I mean, they're coming to you as the what's that word?
Expert.
Yeah, girl, that's it. They're coming to you as the expert. They've probably never done this. They've probably not planned a wedding, so I'm sure a lot of them are like, I don't know, can I book this now?
Totally. Oh my God, I get so many people, they say the same line. It's like, well, this is our first time planning a wedding, and I'm like, well, I would hope so. So no
Glad
worries.
To hear it. I'm here to help you.
Exactly.
So that's nice that you can say, okay, I love that you're like so on the ball, but come back even when you have like, something that has come together. That makes sense. And like you said, as a bride yourself, you're like, oh my gosh, how can I make all these decisions without having things start to come together, right?
Yeah. Because I mean, your wedding cake the look of your wedding cake doesn't set the tone for your entire day, but things like your venue and your decorations and your flowers, they set the feel.
Totally.
And then we customize it to fit that feel.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a really good way to put it. Yeah. So what would you say would be the most stressful part of being in the wedding industry?
Stressful being in the wedding industry. You know, it's a rush. It's like not something that is consistent throughout the whole year and at like a steady pace. It's like we've got a solid 7, 8, 9 months of the year that is like crazy busy.
Totally.
And I don't want to, and you have to find balance. So you can't just dedicate yourself 100% to weddings and then neglect the store.
For sure.
So it's really finding a balance. So that's stressful about the wedding industry.
Really good point.
But then, you know, when I deliver people's wedding cake, I usually hold my breath for the drive there.
Of course. And I feel like most couples would be like, cool. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. I can like honestly say it's been very successful, but it doesn't ever get easier.
No, I bet.
No.
And it's so funny because for every person that's part of the wedding industry, like whatever portion they're part of, I'm sure we all do that at one point where we're like, okay, I did it. Okay. And inside you have like this little celebration, but I feel too like it's also such a positive that you say that, because for someone who's going to be booking you, they want you to be so confident with all of these amazing tasks that you have to do with their cake or their desserts, anything that you're delivering for them. But that last final delivery is like, oh, yeah, she's got that. It's fine.
Yeah.
As long as it gets here,
Yeah.
it's all going to taste the same.
Oh my God. No, it's always so stressful.
Yeah, I
and,
bet.
you know, I'm like the one driving 30 kilometers an hour on the QEW to Niagara, being like, I don't care if you're mad at me. I have your wedding cake in the back and it's getting there safely.
You
So
should just have like a sign in the back, like, have a wedding cake.
yeah, I know.
Just like
the
a little
baby
emoji.
on board,
Yeah, yeah.
but a wedding cake
Wedding
on
cake.
board. Yeah, I think I need to get one
like
of
a little
those.
a transfer sticker.
Yeah.
Okay. I like this idea.
Okay, you
I'm
watch out for me.
will.
I will have one of those this summer.
On the QE, I'll be like, oh, there's Marcia. Probably something gorgeous in her trunk. It's fine. Also, it's probably not in your trunk, as if I just said that.
No, they do. So we
okay,
got a
brilliant.
truck so that
it's
we
a
can
truck,
deliver it nice and safely. So it sits like on a flat surface.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, because
I'm picturing like a little car with like the
oh
the
God,
trunk.
no.
I'm
Oh,
like,
God.
maybe.
No.
No.
When I had just my little car, I
Yeah.
would make my fiance drive the car while I held on to every single wedding
In the
cake.
back?
With my dear life, to make sure that nothing ever happened to it. And then
That
I
is
was like,
amazing.
I think it's time to invest
Yeah.
in a truck.
I feel like I have to ask, is there any photos of you holding cakes?
God, no.
Maybe no. In your head,
No.
they're there. In
They
your head,
are
they're
there. They're there, and it's embarrassing. If you could see what is in my head, oh Lord. Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah.
It's so amazing and like so sweet of your fiance to be a part of that
Oh,
too.
I'm very lucky. He's been super supportive throughout
That's
the
amazing.
entire thing. Yeah.
So lucky. It's so funny with like entrepreneurs. We have this like just like go crazy life, and we're so lucky to find amazing partners.
Yes.
So that's really really great to hear, because
Thank you.
You really need that.
Yeah, he's
I'm
the bomb.
sure. Yeah. Oh, that's so nice, guys. They're getting married. It's so nice. So what about your favorite wedding that you've been a part of? If you have one. I mean, this
They're
is
all
such
so
I
great.
know.
It's
a
so
tough
hard.
question.
I would say,
Or cake that you've decorated or done.
I
If you
think
have a favorite.
there's one that was from last wedding season, and it was planned by Danielle Shaw from Shaw Events.
Incredible.
And it had such an awesome team. But this couple had like something that really resonated with me, and they loved astrology and they loved the stars, and it meant something so special to them, and they incorporated it in these really little subtle ways throughout their entire day, and they trusted me 100% with coming up with a design. So they had a 5-tier cake, and I surprised them, and we covered it in like black fondant, and then we drew each of their astrological signs on it. So
Oh my goodness.
yeah, and then they connected in the middle of the cake. So that was something special for them because they were so into that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I feel like, oh my gosh. I have seen that photo of that cake, and I was
really?
like blown away.
Yeah, that
I
was one of my
immediately
favorites.
regretted not having a cake for our own wedding and thought, wow, like this, again, like there's something so special, so unique that this couple probably mentioned to you. And like you said, they trusted you to create something so magical.
Yeah.
And it was,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah,
So
it was
those
special.
are really cool moments where you get to be like, I did that.
Yeah, and I
love them.
invested, you know, I was like emotionally invested in that one because
Yeah.
it was like I was excited because they were like, surprise me, and I was like, okay.
Wow.
And it was like, I can't wait for you to see this. I hope you love it as much as I do. And they did, and I was like so happy and so
Oh,
relieved. But
That
yeah,
makes everything worth it.
totally.
Those moments where you see their faces or get that message.
Yeah.
And they're just like, well, you did it.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So exciting.
Yeah.
So what, because you are so creative, what keeps you creative and growing and like always pushing?
I draw a lot of inspiration from just watching super talented people, you know, whether it's on social media or
Right.
it's the people in my community. And it's just kind of like keeping an eye out for things and seeing all the great people in this industry.
Amazing.
And in the wedding community, like it could be not even in the cake decorating world.
Right.
And so other people inspire me
That's
by whatever
amazing.
they do, not only just in like design, but in actually being a better person and a better entrepreneur.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's so positive because in some of our past podcasts, some people talked about how social media has a negative effect on them. And it's really cool to hear that social media has such a positive effect on you and like just keeps you pushing and going. Because I think that's really what it may also be for.
Yeah.
Like other than advertising.
Totally. Yeah, seriously. No, but it's great because I think that there's, I don't know, I feel like the caking world is a super tight-knit community, even though there are people in Australia that would still message me and I would message them and we'd share ideas and tips and tricks and whatever. And it's like, and we're not afraid to be like, here's this cake design this weekend. I was inspired by this cake decorator.
That's
because
amazing.
we're not trying to copy each other. We're not trying to pass it off as our own, but somebody did a technique that inspired us and then we put our own flair on it and made it into something that was special to us. And we all kind of just work together. I mean, I don't know, it's more of a community rather than us just trying to be better than each other.
Right. That's incredible.
Yeah.
It's also so cool that you can, like, basically you have a friend,
Yeah,
like halfway
who
around
I've
the
never
world.
really even met. Yeah,
But you have this incredible connection that you may not even have with someone, say, here in Westdale.
Yeah.
Right? It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So social media does have its perks. I will give it that.
It does.
Yeah.
Yep.
And, okay, so one other question about, I guess we'll say 2020. What are your wedding style predictions for 2020?
Ooh, buttercream is making a huge comeback.
Ooh.
So everybody wanted everything for a while.
Yes.
And now I'd say 2019 and 2020, it'll be even harder, is buttercream. And there's a lot of texture going on it, a lot of pops of color. Buttercream, painting with buttercream now to create florals or just
How
like
do you
a
paint
feathering.
with buttercream?
You literally take a paintbrush to your colored buttercream and go wild. So it's a lot
That
of
sounds
layering.
amazing.
Yeah, a lot
Wow.
of texture. And that's what I see going hard on Pinterest the next year.
That makes me so happy. I
Yeah.
love texture anywhere.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's really cool.
Yeah.
Okay, good predictions. I haven't had, that's like a good, you knew right away too. You're like, this is happening.
I've just been like, because we started playing around with it last week actually in the shop just for fun, and
That's
I was
so
like,
great.
ooh, I can't wait for somebody to email me being like, I want you to make a wedding cake and you can paint on it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay,
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I've practiced.
Yeah, so if anyone's listening
Yes.
and you want me to paint on your cake, call me.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Marcia, for this. It's so lovely to chat with you and just hear your journey. And
Thank you.
it's so great to just see how far you've come
Thanks for having
in
me.
such a short time, too.
Oh,
I think so.
yeah.
Yeah.
It feels like 5 seconds and 5 years all at the same time.
That's such a great way to say that. I agree. Well, we all wish you incredible success, of course, going forward.
Thank you.
And we can't wait to see pictures from your wedding because we know it's going to be beautiful.
Thank you.
Oh, and to check out the dessert room, you guys are located at
1048 King Street West in Westdale Village.
Perfect. So if you're in Hamilton, this is the place you need to stop at.
Yeah.
And where can we check out your work online and on Instagram?
So it's thedessertroom.ca, and our Instagram handle is just at the dessert room. And yeah.
Perfect. We're all going there to drool
Yay.
tonight.
Yeah. And
Thank
stop
you
by
again.
and say hi.
Yes, fantastic. We sure will.
Thanks.
Thank you again, Marcia.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.